We are for the top-up show. Paul Daly's joined us. Best day in the world at Randwick Racecourse today. It's Winx Day again, and the first time I think I've really thought it can win, actually.
Where are the Winx flags, Glenn?
Oh, it's not, you know.
Oh, no one cares anymore.
No.
I'll tell you what, the flags are flying, and
Bit of wind about, Mark?
Yeah, a bit of wind. Nor'wester at the moment, so straight into their faces on the side, and we've got a few visitors as well.
Yep.
Going good here with Mozzies.
So at this stage, that's a bit against leaders. The wind is forecast to be from north-northwest, which actually should compromise the inside on the side a little bit, but we'll have to wait to see whether that shifts around to that extent. Race 1 a highway, we're down to 10 runners, and a little bit of interest in the favourite size Stella into 390, and Caccini, the Acton horse, into $15. Any clarity, Glenn?
Still pretty keen on Bocelli. I want to check it out from the parade ring because it hasn't had a trial. You know, I think it's a race of 4 or 5 chances.
Are you playing the race, Paul?
Yeah, look, I'm probably in the equal balance camp. Field of 10, and it's going to be coming from the back, but hopefully can round them up.
Race 2, short course again, this time 1100, and the Pfeiffer last start maiden winner Prophet's Thumb is the only firmer of note, 7-1 into 6-1 overnight. Neutrality and Santos 6-4 and 11-4 as they were.
Anyone understand the money for this thing from Wild?
Well, I suppose she's a filly that we don't, an untapped filly, but you know, the trials and the race she contested on Wyong Cup Day don't appear to line up. I suppose
we're talking about Prophet's Thumb here. I put 25 to 1 next to it, and I was pretty comfortable with it.
Paul, you're bullish about those at the top?
Yeah, look, I think the two favourites fight it out. Assuming that on the fence is okay. My whole day today is sort of working around the fact that the fence is going to be a slight advantage. And of course, if that doesn't eventuate, we'll have to change. But at this stage, neutrality clearly and Santos clearly. So they're the only two for me.
No, I've marked them 2 to 1 on the brackets. So I'm 7-4, 9-4, and I think I'm really comfortable.
Okay. The mile race, interest is in the new horses, the fresh blood into this race. Another dollar is 9-2 into 7-2. Murakeb with J Mac up. Gord said J Mac's just going to carry this horse. 13-2 into 5-1.
Well, it's interesting what Gord said yesterday because I potted this stable, but then the more I thought about it overnight is 14 starts ago this horse was racing in Melbourne, so it's come up here, probably had the one glove, they haven't had time to not look after it. I'm tipping it.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I'm saying it's got a better chance today.
Well, it is a race up the grabs. Are you playing this race, Paul?
Probably not. No, most of the horses that are in my top picks are sort of get-back horses. Goodfella's not hopeless, but look, I think another dollar's the horse I got on top, but yeah, I don't think I'll play.
One thing about Goodfella, Mark, he does push forward. He is the only leader. It is Hippo. It's the course and distance winner coming out of the bad race. But it sat outside lead the other day to win.
I know, in a very slow pace.
But not many horses sat out in that position.
Yeah, I agree.
I think at $10 or $11, Goodfella is a good bet.
I would prefer it drawn wide, but because I just don't like leaders drawn inside it. It gets messy, but something just comes around them. Race 4, we lost Redzell. That was the shock, one of the shocks of the morning. Redzell out, so Invincible. Yeah, so Invincible Star heads up the market at 7-4, and the adjusted market is pretty much as yesterday's market was. So whether punters have got involved or not, I'm not sure. Paul, will you be playing this race?
No. Look, I had a good bet on Invincible Star last time, got it wrong. There's no edge here for me.
I'm mounting out mile there for me because we've got Brave Smash, who I know how it looks when it's perfect. It's coming up from Melbourne. We've obviously got English first up. I haven't seen Ball of Muscle in a long time. It's and I know Invincible Star will parade sensationally. It's a MYM for me.
The Bill Ritchie.
Time honoured.
Yeah, a lot of conjecture about the timing of Chris Waller's scratching chaotic. I think lots of people are very unhappy about that, but of course he's just playing the rules, playing the system.
Funny bloke though, you know, like what's he earn, $10 million out of the game per year, and he makes all his income on the generous affordability of punters in this country betting, and he can't look after them in like not even fucking for 2 minutes.
No, I know. No,
it's fucking outrageous.
Punters are dirty, and they deserve to lose their money. I mean, that is the attitude of the horse racing game, and it's a very strange attitude when your customers are paying the bills. Well,
the nice car he's going to drive home to the nice home he lives in tonight with the nice wife and all the nice money in the bank is provided by punters, and he can't even tell us when the scratching's going to come through. It's all wrong.
So Siege of Quebec is quite firm, and Tom Melbourne is 6-1 into 5-1. Pierrata remains the 7-4 favourite. What are we doing here, Glenn?
Top pick Pierrata.
I guess he is a bit of a manning yard horse because we haven't seen him for 6 weeks.
6 weeks, yeah.
Yeah,
6 weeks.
He's not trained by one of the gun stables, even though Mr. Hickman does a great job with this horse. I've got to keep an eye on this horse because I am petrified the day he starts getting thin, because he's only a small horse. I don't want him to ever lose 20 kilos in condition, because he'll be none.
Yeah, okay. That's
Siege of Quebec, what do we do with it?
Well, it's what have you done with Siege of Quebec today, Paul?
11-2. I choked down. I think you can forgive the last run. Tongue ties on again, so might help, but it's, I can't really back it. Invictus Princess was an enormous run the other day and defied its 2 previous runs. I've always thought this horse had ability, and is probably a nice little cups horse going forward. Pierrata, I've got a 2-1 favourite, but it has had that bit of a setback, so it's hard to know what to do. For me, I'm just going to have a small bet at long odds on Surplush.
The Winx race, and I noticed that Egg Tart, Ace High, somewhat, Who Shot the Barman and Religify are all shorter than they were yesterday. And Winx is out to $1.13.
Wow. I couldn't work out this morning how Winx was $1.12 yesterday. You wake up unforgotten, like a clear danger is scratched, and it's down to $1.14.
Well,
just wins for me.
Just wins.
Just wins. Race the fillies race, the T-Rose, 1400 metres, and Madame Rouge, 9-1 into 13-2 is our overnight firmer.
Well spotted by you yesterday on the previous show, mate.
Well, I just, obviously everyone's desperate to
find something different.
Well, yeah, because they're all meh. The horses out of the lead-up.
They're all tied together. I was a bit bullish about Fiesta. I've dropped right off thinking about finishing the tapes last night, where this was maps and everything. It's a race where I'm going to have 3 or 4 bets. So I'm going to be looking for good value in the betting ring, looking for things at odds.
Yeah, Paul, I think we read a change of tactics that is a bit upsetting.
Yeah, I was originally going to throw something small on Simey, which they're saying is now going to be ridden with cover, as is Miss Fabulous, so I'm not sure where the speed comes from.
Yeah, they're suddenly all back markers.
Maybe the New Zealander can take it up, perhaps with Madame Rouge.
Well, I think you'll find Madame Rouge going forward here.
Yeah, I think it will. So,
J-Mac.
Look, I've got half a dozen chances and nothing between them, and if you force me to have a bet, I'd have something on Madame Rouge or Fateau, but I don't really want to bet in the race.
The staying race, where we've got full field, 16, that's exciting. Avilius remains our favourite, but a little easier. I think he's out to 280 now. Allwood, 20s into 12s, and Patrick Aaron, 30s into 20s. I think you expressed some interest in those horses to me earlier, Paul.
Yeah, I think the Sedans is my favourite, even from the bad gate. I'm against Avilius at the price only. It's an exciting horse, but I think 250's rock bottom. Allwood's the value for me. Librand's a hope. Brimham Rocks. I'm serious. I'm worried about it. It's going to have to go forward, I think, and I don't think that's in its best interests at the 2,000 metres. But so I'm a bit against it. And Patrick Aaron's a roughie. So look, for me, I suppose the value's going to play around Allwood and Patrick Aaron.
Glenn, have you got...
I've warmed to 18 overnight, guys. Like it a real lot. My prognostication for the race is that Glyn Schofield on this favourite will look very unlucky in the run and get beat.
And the nightcap, Manhattan Mist, is 9-1 into 13-2. Dissolution's been snipped at, 25s have gone. It's make or break race for trekking, isn't it? And could find a bit of opposition today, given that his 1100 metre record is so much better than his 1200 metre record. And I think Gord was saying that he didn't like the way he went to the line the other day. For or against, Paul? Trekking?
Against the price, I'm about 5-1. I'm just worried third up. It's had these preparations where they've all been like 2-run preparations or 1-run preparations. So a little bit worried about that. Single Bullet's the horse for me. Probably my best value chance at the somewhat shorter end of the market.
Okay, and Glenn, have you...
Yeah, I agree with Paul there. I think Single Bullet's got questions. I am interested, again, I need to have a good look at this horse, but I'm very interested in Warranty.
Warranty.
What a great card it looks, guys.
Yeah, what a great card it is. Now, don't forget, we're on air 4 times a week. 3 of them for subscribers on Monday, Tuesday and Friday. And you get all Sydney Metro sets, all Sydney Mounting Yard Mail and Melbourne Metro set for a Saturday, each Saturday. And that's all for $22. The first 2 weeks are free. So come on board, we'd love to have you. And anyone that is in the vicinity of Lismore next week, we'll be there for Cup Day on Thursday. You can get your Punters Paradise Marquee tickets from Racing Rant. Hope to see you there.
Bye.
Cheers, bro.